Hello everyone. In last class, we already discussed about the theory part of process account. In this chapter, we are number 25 and question number 1. Section A, question number 1. See the question. In process A, 100 units of raw materials were introduced at a cost of rupees 1000. The other expenditure incurred by the process is rupees 600. Of the units produced, 10% are normally scrapped in the course of manufacture and they possess a scrap value of rupees 7 per unit. The output of process A was only 75 units. Prepare process A account. Okay, you just see the question. In this, in process A, 100 units of raw materials are were used at a cost of raw materials how much 1000, and the other expenditure is how much 600. Raw material expenses is 1000 and the other expenses is 600. Of the units produced, 10% are normally scrapped. 10% of normally scrapped is nothing but 10% is the normal loss. Okay, at the time in theory part I already explained. Under the process accounting, there is two types of losses: normal loss and abnormal loss or abnormal gain. Under this, normal loss is 10% and that loss is scrap value is sold 7 per unit. The output of process A was total at the end output is how much 75 units. Prepare process A account. We need to prepare the process A account. See, under the process account, first you have to remember these formulas before calculating or before preparation of the process account. See, equation in process account, first one, normal production. How to find out the normal production? Inputs used, how many inputs used? Under this, how much inputs? 100, right? Minus normal loss. Normal loss is how much? 10% on 100. So first one, normal production. Under this, how much? Normal production equal to input minus normal loss. Input is how much? 100. Minus normal loss 100 into 10% means 10. So 100 minus 10 is equal to 90 units. This is the normal production. Normal production is over. Next one we have to calculate what's the cost of normal production. Cost of normal production is how much? See, normal production is over. Abnormal loss is how much? Okay, what is the formula to abnormal loss? Say, abnormal loss or gain is equal to actual production minus normal production. Actual production, how much actual production now? See the problem at the end. The output of process A, actual how many units produced? 75. And the normal production is how much? Normal production now just calculated how much? 90 units. So the difference, actual 75 produced but the normal production is 90, so it is a minus value. So it is a, this is abnormal loss, minus negative value we getting, so it is the abnormal loss. Now actual production minus normal production. Next one, cost of normal production. Next one is the cost of normal production. Total cost minus scrap value. Total cost minus scrap value. How to find total cost is how much? 1600. How much? How 1600? 1600 is nothing but 1000 rupees for the materials, 600 for the other expenses. Total cost is 6600 minus scrap value. How to calculate the scrap value? Okay, total no, scrap value for the normal loss. Normal loss is how much? 10 units, right? Normal loss into they sold for how much? This 10 units sold for 7 per units. 10 into 7. So scrap value is 70. 1600 minus 70, 1530. This is the cost of normal production. Next one is the transfer price. Transfer price equal to cost of normal production divided by normal production per unit. Normal production in units. Cost of normal the production is 90 units, right? 90 units means rupees 17 per unit. This rupees 17 per unit for the abnormal loss, per unit for abnormal loss. We have to use, remember, transfer price we have to use for the per unit for abnormal loss. Okay. Next is we need to prepare the process account. See, particular under the process account, particulars, units, amount per unit. Particulars, units, amount and per unit. This is a units column. This is the total amount. This is the per unit. Okay. Okay. First, under the process account, first we have to write the raw materials. Two raw material. Okay. How much raw material used? 100 units, right? Under the unit column 100. Amount is how much? 1000. Per unit 1000 divided by 100 is 10. Next, then any other expense, other expenditure incurred by the process is 600. To other expenses, there is no units, only the amount is 600. 600 divided by 100 per unit is how much? 6. Okay, over. Now, this is the expenses, right? These are two types of expenses, and the normal loss and abnormal loss. Okay, we are selling the normal loss. Okay, scrap value, we are selling the normal loss, right? Okay, see, by normal loss, units, how many units are lost because of the normal loss? 10 units. Normal loss units how much? 10. Then per unit is how much? Scrap value is how much for the normal loss? 7, right? 7 per unit. So 10 into 7, 70. Next, abnormal loss units, how much? Abnormal loss units. See, abnormal loss in transfer price we are calculating for the purpose of the per unit for abnormal loss. So how much? 17. 15 into 17 is how much? 255. Only this much. Next, there is only one account, process account, only one process is there under this problem. So the balance you have to transfer to the buy finished goods account. If there is any other process, process B, you have transferred for the next process. There is no any other process, only one process under this problem. So the balance you have to transfer for the buy finished goods account. Okay, here 100 units minus 25, 75, here 1600 minus 70 minus 255, how much? 1275. 1275 divided by 75, how much? Rupees 17. Otherwise you can write abnormal loss units only. Okay, so total is 100, 1616. This is about the first problem under the process costing. Next we'll see the next problem under this next see same page number 25, question number 2. The output of process A is 500 units. 400 units are considered as abnormal loss. Normal loss allowed is 10%. From the following information, prepare process account. Materials at rupees 20 per unit of input. Wages rupees 16,000. Overhead rupees 13,400. Wastage realized for rupees 10 per unit. Okay. See, the output of the processes A is 5000 units. Okay. Under this, see, calculation of the input. This is the output of process A is 5000. Output, this is output, not the input. Then the abnormal loss is how much? 400. First problem, in process A, 100 units of raw material used. 100 units is the input, right? But in this problem, the input is not there. Output is given how much? 5000 units. Now need to find out the input. See, output of at the end is how much? 5000. Output is nothing but after input minus abnormal loss minus abnormal loss, right? So now we have to add the abnormal loss. See, output at the end is how much? 5000. Next we have to add the abnormal loss units, how much? 400. Then 5400. Here normal loss is 10%. Therefore 5400 means 90%. Then 100% means how much? So 5400 into 100 divided by 90. So input is how much? 6000 units. Don't get confused. Under the first problem, the input is given how much? 100. Input is nothing but raw material used. 100 units given in the problem. But under the second problem, you just see output of the process is given. Output is nothing but input minus abnormal loss minus normal loss. After deducting the from the input, after deducting the normal loss and abnormal loss, we are getting the output. How much? 5000 units. So to get the input, we have to add, for the output we have to add the normal loss as well as the abnormal loss for the output, right? So output is 5000, abnormal loss units directly given in the problem 400, 5400. Now normal is 10%, right? So 5400 means 90%. So 100% means how much? Just before that, we just find the all the things. Calculation of abnormal loss. Okay, normal production, abnormal loss in the here we calculating the abnormal loss. Input is how much? 6000. Normal loss is how much? 600. So normal production is how much? First one, normal production how much? 5400 units, right? Input is 6000, normal loss is 600, calculated, right? 600, 6000 into 10% means 600. 6000 into 10 divided by 100 means 600. 5400 units. Cost of normal production, total cost is how much? You just calculate the total cost. How much total cost? 1,49,000. Raw materials 1,20,000, wages 16,000, and overhead 13,400. Total 1,49,400 minus scrap value. Scrap value sold for rupees 10. How much is the normal loss? 600. 600 into 10 means 6,000. So how much cost of normal production? 1,43,400. Next, normal loss or gain. See, actual production is how much? How much output? 5,000. So minus normal production 5400. So abnormal loss 400 units. Now, so transfer price, cost of normal production divided by normal production in units. 1,43,400 divided by 5,400, 26.56 per unit. Now you just enter under the process A account. First to materials, see how many units? 6000 units, and per unit is 20. So 1,20,000. Then wages is how much? As it is, right? 16,000. Overhead is how much? 13,400. Next, normal loss. Normal loss is just right. How many units? 600 units. Okay, 600 into 10, 6,000. Normal loss sold for the 10, right? Next, abnormal loss 400 units, and per unit is calculated how much? 26. For abnormal loss per unit, you have to take the transfer price. We are calculating the transfer price per unit only for the purpose of writing for the abnormal loss, 26.56. And finished goods account, you transfer to that finished goods. The difference is the finished goods. Okay, this is about the easy problem under the process caution. Don't get confused. First, we have to calculate these four formulas by applying four formulas, and all expenses you write here. Then all the normal loss, abnormal loss, and difference you have transferred to the finished goods account. For abnormal loss per unit, you have to consider the transfer price. Okay, this is about the one more problem under the process costing. Thank you.